Hey there, it's meteorologist Jamie Singleton now from the home office. I've got a new microphone here, got a blue Yeti microphone and new webcam and lights and all that stuff. So setting up at home so I can do these more frequently. But you can see what we've got going on, and I'm very concerned still about heavy rain and possible flash flooding as we go into, or just flooding as we go into next week. Starting you out right now, I can show you the tropics. We've got a potential and a very likely, honestly, tropical depression or subtropical depression here. This gets named, it would be Arthur, but you can see it down here off the coast of Florida. Not too far offshore, and actually some spiral bands of showers rotating around it into the Sunshine State. You're seeing some convection well off to the east here and some of the brighter clouds. I've got the National Hurricane Center enhancement here applied to our convection here, our satellite picture. Broken convection, and you've got like a little tail down here, so it may not be totally tropical because of this feature. That's implying there's some temperature gradient still. But the core of this is trying to develop, and you can see within radar range you are seeing some mid-level rotation here in some gradual spinning here. So this still has a while to get organized before it becomes a official subtropical storm or tropical storm. Subtropical would just mean it doesn't have the characteristics fully of a tropical system, but the impacts can be very similar. And believe it or not, this is not guaranteed to go out into the ocean. I was trying to do a video the other day and tell you that there's a decent chance it could actually hug the coast or go inland with time. We've got a lot of energy. Look at this incredible mesoscale convective system out here across Texas, and you can see the bookend vortex to the north of that. You've got a huge area of showers and a line of storms that pushed out. This is the outflow that moved out into Louisiana, and then some heavy storms on the southern flank of the outflow here. And we have to watch this too. Anytime this time of the year you get one of these dying systems into the Gulf that sits here long enough, it could also develop tropical characteristics. But it's a sign of the energy that's moving into the system. And right now, what I'm watching right here into South Dakota, this is the energy that's going to dive south, kind of link up with all this energy in the subtropical system and form a cutoff low down here across the southeast. Now, it means that we have a good chance of seeing some rainfall from this indirectly, and we have the potential for some flooding if that rainfall were to continue every other day. So looking at it right now off the UK model here, you can see that if I put this in motion, this is the energy I'm watching right now. This is our subtropical system, and that's the energy in Texas. Watch what happens here. And some of the modeling's been going back and forth here, but as we go through the rest of the weekend, it really looks kind of nice out there for today and tomorrow, honestly. We were worried a front would be firing off some showers and storms, and there will be storms today, but it's not looking quite as numerous for Sunday. But by Monday and Tuesday, especially on Monday, we're going to start to see the influence of this trough as it digs here to the south. And that will fire off some heavier thunderstorms and a good chance of rain. Now, it doesn't move east, it starts to dig. And you can see our system here linking up from Texas now getting involved. And our Arthur out here would be just off to the east of this. High pressure building north of this too. In the orange, that's important. You get a clockwise rotation. So it sets up a cutoff low here that just sits pretty much over the Tennessee Valley into Georgia. And this is a counterclockwise rotation. So day after day after day, it's going to start raining. And we're going to have at the front, at the surface, we're going to have a front stalled across our area, which should enhance rainfall. So let me do this, back it up, and show it to you one more time, and we'll go through it. And you can see the overall flow. Watch that just go south and actually a little bit southwest. Then it just sits there. So this is very concerning to me because once it sets up, I don't think it's going to go anywhere. It's like it's just going to sit there for a few days. So we look at the total rainfall, and this is only through 8 p.m. Friday. That should cover most of it, hopefully. But you can see that we've got a lot of rain, over 2 inches for most of the area. In fact, you have the maxing out here between 4 and 5 plus inches of rain, especially there near the Blue Ridge, which is where we'll have some upsloping. And it's looking a little more, certain now the more and more I look at this. I'll go ahead and show you the Canadian model off Tropical Tidbits. And you can see this is the new 12Z model. I'll back it up here. And this is tomorrow morning. There's what could be Arthur, and this is our cold front with our upper level system moving into the area. That little blob of green is scattered showers and storms that may pop up again for Sunday. But then as we go through Monday, it's a wet day by the afternoon and evening especially. Low pressure riding along this slow moving front, and the energy will become negatively tilted as the cutoff low forms. Just an incredible southeast wind here coming in. High pressure well up to the north. We'll be wedged in with some cool air, but we're going to force a lot of heavy rain out, especially right up against the Blue Ridge Mountains in this pattern. There'll be some heavier storms off to the south, but once it meets the warm front, it becomes just a gradual rain. And it will begin starting, I think, turn heavier, especially as those elevated storms go up and over the cooler air and wring out a lot of moisture. So this is Tuesday, just a soggy, wet day. Another repeat performance on Wednesday. And this system doesn't go anywhere. At the upper levels, it remains parked. We may see some dry intrusion by Thursday and Friday, which may break up the rain into more showery activity. But with that, as I mentioned a few days ago, we'll see more scattered heavy storms developing in between, because any sunshine will fire off that by the afternoon and evening. So we're all the way out to May 23rd, next Saturday. You can still see the influence of that system, but finally the rain chances will start to go down by then, we think. This is the HRRR for today. I've got all my maps here set up a special way so I don't have to move them around, but I have to do a lot of clicking. We've got storms firing up around the Shenandoah Valley into the Allegheny Highlands in the NRV by this evening. So I'd say in the next few hours things are going to start to heat up out there. We'll get some activity. This is going to be scattered activity. It'll die down as we expect with the cooling overnight tonight. And then for Sunday, not a lot happens here, but I do think still a chance of at least an isolated thunderstorm is possible. And I mentioned, we're not going to see a washout this weekend, but it looks like next week it will be. So this is Monday morning. This is off the HRRR version 4, which is a newer model that I'm looking at here. But you can see, we start to see the influence of what could be our subtropical system here. And listen, if the upper low is down here across Tennessee, if it gets strong enough and doesn't move as far west and moves a little bit farther east, it could bring the system in, or at least bring it closer to the coast. So that's something that I'm watching very, very carefully as we go through time here. This is the Euro. I wanted to show you what it has. This is the 0Z. And let me get to my right one here. Weather bell, okay. So this is this afternoon's front. We've got a front somewhere up here. And as we go through, this will be scattered showers and storms today. And then as we go into Sunday, maybe some more isolated activity. But I do think, storms will flare up Sunday. By that time, what could be Arthur is going to be just off the coast of the Carolinas. And as we go into Monday here, start to see the rain break out across West Virginia, Kentucky, getting into Virginia Monday afternoon. Becomes heavy at times Monday night. And into Tuesday, it could also be heavy at times. It looks like the bulk of this steady rain may get into central Virginia for Tuesday. But still a good supply of moisture for just light to moderate rain for a good part of Tuesday. Daily rounds, and that's going to be the thing. We're going to have probably rain develop. It may ease off at times and redevelop with not really much of a break in the cloud cover, unfortunately, for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And this is a squeeze play. You've got the low down here, the high to the north, and that moisture pivoting around going into Wednesday. More heavy rain is possible. Severe weather would be possible near the warm front. And into Thursday, it's really just not going to move through Thursday. Now, finally, by Friday, it should fill in a little bit and begin to clear out. In the upper levels, if you look at the Euro ensemble, so this takes into account different solutions that could happen, it's very similar. So it's looking more certain that we're going to see this rainy pattern set up because the ensemble guidance is right there in the same ballpark. So this is our upper low Watch it go south. It's really incredible. It's moving east, and then it just takes a 90-degree turn to the south. And that's because this ridge of high pressure is going to build so fast to the north of it. So this flow of the jet stream is going to be like this. It's going to go up and over our upper low, which is just going to sit, and that's why it's going to sit. So it kind of forms this block here. And then as we go into Friday, it finally lifts out. But listen, that upper low is sitting here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It finally lifts out. So how would that look at the surface? Well, we'll do our total precip here. And again, these are just models, but giving you an idea of the potential with the pattern. This is the Euro from last night, or this is actually the 60. It does not go out as far. So let me go to last night's. And this is through Tuesday morning. So through Tuesday morning, we could have over 3 inches of rain in parts of the area. The Euro here showing the Greenbrier Valley of West Virginia into the Allegheny Highlands with the most rain. But even along the Blue Ridge from the Amherst, Nelson counties down through Roanoke and Franklin counties, over 2 inches of rain. And that's possible through Carroll County and Patrick County into northwest North Carolina. That's Tuesday morning, but it's going to keep raining after that. So Tuesday and the Wednesday, another round of rain moves through. And then we had Thursdays on top of that. And look what we're looking at here. We're looking at over 7 inches in Roanoke, possibly, in and around Roanoke. You can't go with these exact numbers off a model that's going to be a week out. But you can look at the overall placement, and it's right across our area is where the mountains enhance this rainfall. So yes, I think there's a definite flooding threat here as we go into next week. Again, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, those are going to be 4 days where we're going to see a lot of rain across the area. Here's how it looks on the Weather Prediction Center. And let me back it up here. So this is today's weather map. Again, the front firing off those showers and thunderstorms. And then for tomorrow, the front's hanging out. The stationary front becoming a warm front near the low here. And it's still a backdoor cool front. So it's more or less a stationary front. And there you see it by Sunday morning, just stationary. This is a little trough surface waves coming off of our potential subtropical or tropical system, what could be Arthur. And then you've got more of the influence of that residual boundary down across Texas and Louisiana tomorrow for Sunday. Sunday evening, showers and thunderstorms pop up again. Locally strong is always a possibility in May. Then Tuesday morning, here comes the main part of the system as its approach moves into the area. The mountains and the highlands will see the best chance of rain earliest, and then it will move from west to east. Once it sets in, it takes up residence. The surface low will be off to our south, and our surface trough, probably a second low here. Probably many lows, honestly, moving around this, but the main one will be to our south. This is Wednesday. I'm in total agreement with this, the way it looks right now. You've got a low near Knoxville, then a second one there in South Carolina. But the big issue is this high to the north, and that gradient, the pressure gradient, forcing all that rain into Virginia and up against the mountains. There it is Thursday. More of the same. Moderate rain will be in the dark greens here Thursday. Now Friday, again, it starts to fill in a little bit, but it's still around. So there will probably be some showers Friday, but it may not be an all-day rain. And then for Saturday, hopefully next weekend, about the 23rd of May, hopefully it's out of here. But again, if you put that in motion, you get an idea that, the block is on and it's just going to sit there for a while. So our excessive rainfall is there today for the threat of some locally, very hyper-local flooding from any storms that develop and sit over the same areas. Tomorrow, for Sunday, the threats here across the south and into the Great Lakes. And then for day 3, which is Monday, it goes from 8 a.m. Monday to 8 a.m. Tuesday. We're in a marginal to slight risk of flooding or excessive rainfall. And you're going to see, as we go into Tuesday and Wednesday, when we get within that 3-day period off the WPC, they are going to probably start expanding that area as well. So again, it's just very concerning. There's a closer look at our feature here, starting to look a bit healthier, but it needs to become a little more symmetrical. We got to get a circulation going at the very low levels and get it wrapped all the way around the deepest convection. So we got a little bit of a dry intrusion here, but overall, it's still a system that kind of pops out at you, and we've got an 80% chance of development here with this from the National Hurricane Center. So that looks, like we are going to see at some point through the next couple of days a named storm. And again, could this be involved in the overall pattern, yes, it could. It's close enough to this upper low that develops. It's close enough to at least provide some effects of it. Now, one thing that could happen tomorrow for Sunday is in Virginia, you may be in between all three systems. So we may actually have a fairly nice day absent of the isolated storms that develop. Along the coast, it'll be showery. It'll be raining off to the west. And in between will be the Virginia Old Dominion there. So anyway, it's looking though like with time here, especially starting Monday, that we're going to have to worry about some flooding concerns and some just a rainy pattern here. Again, it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and maybe Friday of next week. Updates to come on Patreon and my other social media platforms. Thanks for checking me out today.